Hi, our buddies, and welcome to Bricolage with Pink Girly. Come on in. I'm not going to keep this recording too long, I don't think. I'm going to work on my signatures today for my current custom project. And the last videos, if you've watched those, I dyed some paper. So I have my papers here. Now, these papers are going to be switched in and out for a little bit. Um, I have planned to do a walkthrough at the end of this journey, and you'll see, my choices then. But for right now, I've just got papers in place and things that I want to work on to add to these papers. Now, like I said in video one, I think, and you may not have watched that, that's fine too. It's mostly purple and colors that go with purple, but no pink. And so I purchased this. I don't have much purple in my stash. So I purchased this little 8x8 Stamperia paper pack. It's just 10 little sheets of paper, double-sided. But I should know this by now. I get ahead of myself. I get excited. I get my paper. I get something in the mail. I get another idea. And then I rip things apart and I forget, oh yeah, I wanted to do a recording. So I don't have the whole paper pack here. I've cut some pieces apart and I'm starting to make little cards and tuck-ins and stuff over at my sewing machine. But I'll just show you what I have here. So this is the front cover. And like I said, it's two-sided. Well, front cover of the paper pack. Let me put it to you that way. I have two sheets of this. See, the one is just the back cover, so I can glue this down and use this sheet. And this, I'm going to lose some tags here, but c'est la vie. These are going to be my inside covers, I believe, at this point. And then I'm going to make pockets with that coordinating sheet. And then it's got, stuff like this. I'm pretty sure this is going to go on my front cover. And let's see what else I can show you here. It's a really cute paper pack. I cut a little bit out here. That's going to be a pocket. Lavender, lavender. There's a second sheet of that. Look, isn't that cool? So some of you may be familiar with this. A lot of folks like purple. I know some people don't, and then I'm adding in greens and blues mostly, I believe, at this point. So these are the papers that I dyed. I'm pleased with most of them. Like I said, some of them are probably going to get switched out. This was a paper placemat that I purchased from Lisa Jameson. So that's going to be this little pocket. It's going to be a pocket. It is a pocket. So see, now I have to do something with them. Now I want to put these envelopes I have that I colored. Now I just have to put my hands on them. So I have 3 signatures, and you can see they're quite fluffy. But like I said, some of these pages are going to be pulled out and others to replace them. So as I work through the book, I'll get other ideas and I'm going to be adding different things and see what my creative mind can create. So here are my little envelopes. I think these were 9x6. Yeah. 9x6, and I put those in the acrylic water bath. But now I want to do something else to them. So that's what I'm going to work on, I think, largely for this video. I do want the customer to have some bit of a surprise as to what's going on. And, I can do a walkthrough and she can choose whether or not she's going to watch it. But I'm not going to do everything on camera. Just, maybe some fun stuff that'll give you some ideas. So I want to get out if I can find it, my Midnight Blue stays on. Which is usually right here, but of course, right this moment, it is not. I've got nobody else to blame but me out in this room because I'm the only one out here. I got 2 jet blacks. I just like my navy. It's not really, I think they call it midnight blue. They don't call it navy. And I think I want to use this stamp, unlike the script. I'm just basically going to make this journal how I would want it if it was for me. Here it is. I'm not sure how juicy that is either, so we'll do a couple of sample stamps. See how it goes. I think I don't want to stamp right away though. I want to put some kind of a underneath or base on this. Now you can see this is lifted up here. See how that tore? I'm going to take that off. Oh. Now I'm going to try something else. Now, some of you have heard me use the term tinkle tape. And to me, that is tape that looks old, that looks like it's been tinkled on. So you can make your own. You need some clear cellophane tape. And usually you do it with alcohol ink that looks old and antique-y. But I'm wondering how a purple would look there. So I'm going to make a couple of different samples here. I'll see what I like best. Now you want a piece of acetate or something that you can pull your tape up off of. So this is a little shipping bag, right? So I'm going to put that down. That I can stick my tape to. And then I need to find a sleeve of my alcohol ink. And I'm also going to grab a couple cotton swabs. Now, I have a lot of alcohol inks because Peggy Fitzmaurice has been very generous to me. And she sent me, I think, her doubles. So thank you again, Peggy, because it is delightful to have an idea. This is Purple Twilight. I'm going to try that. It's nice to have an idea and then be able to go to your shelf and pick what you need. Let's try butterscotch as well. Honeycomb, I think that's a little too yellow for what I want. Coral, Valencia. Yeah, let's try these. I'm going to have to dig out some other stuff. I didn't dig it out. Before I turned the camera on, I didn't dig everything out. Are we surprised? No, we're not. Okay. So I'm just going to tape. Now, the hard part is once you tape it down, it's hard to see where you put it. And to not get your hair taped down with it. Now, Johnny from what's the name of her shop? The Junk Journal Junk Shop Journal. I'll have to look that up. And can you believe I can't get that hair? There it is. It's right under the tape, of course. She taught me how to do this. All right, so I've got some cotton swabs here. I'm going to start out with the butterscotch. And I'm just going to drip a little bit on that tape. Now, you could leave it just like that. But you also could spread it out. And then, of course, you can let it dry naturally. You can always add if it's not dark enough or you want a different look. I think I usually use latte. It's probably over here in my bin where I have all my, let's see if I can find it easily. Oh, this is caramel. Let's see what caramel looks like. It might be a little darker. Now, oh yeah. Now what I like to do is make several pieces and have it on something so when I need it, I can just go and get it. I don't have to stop to make it. Just wondering how the purple might look. That's really purple. Now you could use your heat tool, but you have to really be gentle. And especially if you have your tape on acetate, too much heat, it's all going to curl up. And if you lose some of your stickiness from your cellophane tape, you just add a little bit of glue when you go to use it. So I'm going to do a few more while I have all this out. Got to tell you, I don't know about that purple. There we go. This is the caramel again. There's my phone. Everybody wants me to buy stuff that time of year. It's that time of year. All right, let's do a couple of more. I mean, the butterscotch isn't too bad. I think latte is my favorite. But you know, you can if you have alcohol ink, you can just use whatever you have available. See how you like it. The butterscotch is pretty good though, isn't it? It looks pretty good. Let's see, I've got all mine. I like to keep the, of course, my re-inkers and the alcohol inks that I use on a regular basis. I like to keep in a little box that's easy for me to get to. And here's ginger. This one looks like I think that'll be a little too red. But I'll be able to use it somewhere, I'm sure. Let's try ginger. Of course, I'm not fine. It looks like ginger's had a little bit of a leak. Oh, that's more like a, almost like a sepia color. That's cool. That's really cool. All right, so I'm going to sit these off to the side and let those air dry. And then I'm going to work on at least one of these for this video. We're already in 15 minutes and see, I'm fiddling around with making tinkle tape. But maybe some of you have never made it or realized you could make it. So I'm just readjusting a few things here as I dig out my stencils. I want my stencils and I want my little makeup brushes. All right, so what I'm thinking is, because these are going to be folded, and I'm going to cut a little, I think I'm going to do a finger tab. I might glue a whale's tail tag on some of these. And I might put lace or, different things like that. We'll see as we go along. Let me get my whale tail. Now, the problem with cutting tags early is you might cut into paper that you don't know you're going to need later on in the project. So I think I might see this is the piece of graphic 45. Aren't they sweet? But it's got a really nice purple print on the back. But I think I want to save those kids for something else. So let me get where that's pretty too. See, this is the problem. Now, if you don't have this kind of a punch or you don't have a tab punch, just use a circle punch and fold it in half. It'll work, believe me, just as well. So I want to design something because this is going to go in my signature. It's going to be a pocket. And then we've got all sides that we're going to be able to see when we flip the book, right? Just like pages. So we could build pockets, we could put a belly band, but I want something underneath in addition to having dyed that. So I want something maybe like that. That doesn't have a lot of pattern, just has a little something something. Look, letters are always good for me. Numbers, little circles. Of course, if you're working on a book and it's themed like bees, you might want some honeycomb, stuff like that. Here's some letters and some, I don't know what you call that. Let's see how this works for us. Then I'm going to pull out some of my you know what they're called. You're thinking with me. Some of my oxides. Just seeing which ones I think will work. Sage. Let's see, I don't have much in the way of purple, but I think sage would be good. And the evergreen would work with the sage. Oh, you know what? How about peeled paint? Love me some peeled paint. So these are Distress Oxides by Ranger. And let's just start in. All right, so I got my little whale's tail. I'm going to fold these. So I have them. And I think I'm going to open it up and work on it as one piece. I kind of like that idea. And I like going half on the page, half on, half off, half on, half off. So I'm going to grab my green brush, and the bundled sage is lighter, I believe. Yeah, one's real yellow, one's more blue. Let me put my cellophane tape back in my drawer. And I got to get the right glasses on. They're my up close. I don't need my up close. And I'm not going to do the whole surface. So just start putting a little bit on. Make sure I'm getting some color down. And then I'm going to go, oh, I guess that was the color. I meant to go in that color. And some of the lighter green. That looks cool. So let's do a little bit down here. So these oxides, they blend together very nicely. All right, I'm not crazy about that straight edge, so I'm just going to add a little bit more at the top. Get rid of that so it kind of fades. See, I had the edge of the stencil. You can faintly see it, but then I went back and lined up my stencil again and went a little beyond that to kind of fade it out so I don't have an exact line of demarcation, or however you say that word. Okay. You can always add. And I guess you could take away too, because you could glue something on top. But I'm going to flip it over and do the other side. Same idea. Keep the same process going. So in the journal, it kind of doesn't match, but it, works together, both sides. Certainly you can think about this more. If you're doing a certain theme, you may want to do things a little differently. But I like this I like doing this, and I like the end result. I like the way it looks. So this is my bundled stage. Keep your lids with the right color. That's helpful. That's always helpful. All right, so now I think I'm going to switch to let's see, what else do I have here? I have Timber. I think might be a little too dark. I'm looking for there it is, Gathered Twig. Let's see, that'll work. Oh, I was looking for, I have it. That would be, oh yeah, that stuff's my inks. You can use your inks. I like to use my oxides. So I'm going to use a little bit of these letters and numbers and just pop some of this down. So I'm going to take my brush for my brown colors and just go in and start picking up some of that oxide color. Tipping my stencil a little bit, maybe overlap. Okay. Now, some people will say, well, I don't know if it'll look right if you know what? You know what you like. So just do what you like. I'm sure you're better at it than you think you are. And if you're going to make a journal and follow along with what I'm doing or use some of these ideas, I would love to know. That'd be great. That'd be fun for me. Okay. I think I've got some of my stencils kind of a little bent there. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to put that back, cap up my gathered twig. If you don't have any of these oxides and you're thinking about purchasing some, think about just getting a couple at a time so you can build up your, your supply or your stash, and think about colors you would mostly will use for the type of work you like to do. Like usually a vintage photo or your gathered twigs, like a brown neutral color, and then maybe pick out one or two other colors that work um, for the projects you like to do. Maybe you're crazy about green or blue, then get a couple blues, get a couple greens, and then you're done with it. Then you're just done with it. All right, so I do have my vintage photo here, and I'm going to take my blending tool and I'm going to ink my little tags. And then I need to find a little glue. And I'm going to glue these on. To the edge of my little pockets here. You don't have to do so much towards the center because that's going to be stitched in to my stitches. But don't forget the inside. Okay. Here. All right, I'm just going to use some all-purpose glue. It's sitting right here. Get out my little bit of glue that kind of always stops it up. Now I'm going to put one. Now on something like this, I want to make sure I get inside the pocket and glue it. I don't want to put it here because then that will close part of my pocket and I'll be hard to get things in and out of. So I'm going to put one here and then I'm going to put one on the back underneath side and hope I do it right. So just a little bit of glue on both sides of the tag. Now if you're doing a circle, you're going to carefully fold your little circle disc in half and do the same thing. Same idea, just a different shape. And then you want to be mindful that you don't want it to stick out too terribly far. So just keep an idea, just put it in a little bit. So it's just sticking out a little bit there. Okay, now here's my midnight blue stays on. And I'm going to get a sheet of paper that I can test the stamp on. I want to get a good image, at least one. And then I might use, what do they call, the second or third stamp to lighten it up. So I'm using this because I like the script. You can't really read what it says. I guess you could, but I don't really think about that. So I think that'll look nice. So let's ink up again. I'm just trying to get the center because I don't want the hard edges. And then I'm just going to stamp randomly. Try to give it the best press that I can without wiggling it. You don't want to wiggle because then it'll blur your image. It'll come down here, over here. Now you notice I'm not re-inking. You could turn your stamp if you want. I'm going to do the inside. Same process. Okay. I like that. Now, keep picking up the lace. Okay, so that's good. This can all go off to the side. Now, I think I want to make some kind of maybe a little pocket or a belly band or something additional to go on this. So let's see what my choices are. These are some little graphic 45 tags that I found. My stash, and then I have some pinky papers with the colors that I'm going to be using in the book. And then I also found, I think this was a Jane Davenport. So it's got some cool purple in there. I'm thinking I might cut that out and see, even that might work. And see if I can use those as a belly band. So that's a possibility. I don't know if I like that or not. I'll go cut it out and see. It's an option. It's an option. But so is our tape. Let's see if our tape is dry. Yeah, it's pretty dry. I think a piece of this tape, now you can't even see where I tore that paper off, really. Oh, there it is there. Let's put a piece of tape right there. So I'm just going to lift this up, I think. Okay, my little knife is MIA again. Now, when you pull it off the acetate or the plastic you have it stuck to, a lot of times it curls up. So just be aware. I'm going to burnish that down a little bit. It seemed like it had pretty much of its stick still left. Now, my little cutter, my little trimmer, I keep misplacing it. I'm going to take a little bit off of the top so it fits in my cutter. Still not quite enough. All right, so I'm going to go right here and right there. I like that face. Let's see if we can do something with that. Might be able to use that on one of my pages. Oh, and I like that one there too. Let's get that one. I don't like to cut everything at once until I know where I'm going with my pages and what kind of a look, because you never know. You may end up wanting to leave something or wish you had left it together. So if you have a little paper trimmer, it's not a big deal to, pull it out and use it. Now that the coloring of this kind of really works, I think. I think I want the belly band on the inside. That looks like it still needs a little bit of a trim. Gosh, I'm going on 40 minutes. It takes time, especially if you're creating ideas as you go along. Oh, that's cute. It's got a little more character. Now, a belly band is just a strip of paper that you glue the opposite ends, and then you can tuck things behind it. I've said this before, no idea where the term belly band comes from. I guess maybe like a cummerbund. I don't know. Oh, I don't want that one. I'm going to put that right there. Now, my daughter-in-law, my future daughter-in-law was just here and she said, "Tell me again what those pages are called." And I said, "A signature." So you can put anything in the signature that you'd like, any kind of pages. You can make it as uniform or as eclectic as you might like. Now I'm going to check in my little word tub here to see if I have anything I would like to add to my belly band. See if something hits me. Thankful is always good. Oh, how about shine? Shine might be nice. Okay, let's trim. Again, this little tin was gifted to me by Peggy Fitzmaurice. And you could make one of these, maybe some night you might feel like just being on the computer, typing up a bunch of words, print them out while you're sitting in front of the TV, cut them all up in little strips. And this is just a little Altoid box she decorated. You don't have to decorate it, but they hold little goodies. And it's just a wonderful thing. So let me just ink this. And I think I want a little something underneath there. Now, of course, I probably don't have my hot glue gun on. No. All right, so we'll use the fabric tack. This is why I keep these little bits. Little bitty bits. Oh, I've got to reach to get my fabric tack. And we're just going to add this. Oh, dear. I took off the whole top instead of the little cap. Oh, that was almost a surprise. Looks like I've glued my cap on. Woo! All right. A little fabric tack. Now you just want to remember, if you're using fabric, it's porous, so your glue's going to come through there. So I don't want to close this until it's dry. Just offset that a little bit. So now I got a cute little belly band. See, and then that can hold a little goodie. I'm going to put some kind of a pocket here, but I want to let that dry first. So I don't want this to stick together. See, and then that's just going to work inside of one of my signatures. This won't be where its home will be. But then she has two pockets in this signature. We'll put some goodies in there. So you can see there's still lots to do. I think I still need to trim some of these pages, but we'll see as we go. I think that's pretty good. So that's all for this video. I'm going to work, of course, on these pages on my own and get this project going. I have a little cheat sheet here somewhere. All right, so I have 2 videos about dyeing the paper and then my signatures, and all I do is take that, folded them in half, Most of you know how to do that. And I counted, we're shooting for 12 pages in a signature, but that's up to you. I generally like to do 9 or so, but we'll see how this goes. Decision is yours. So then my next video, I'm planning to work on the cover and start that. And then the signatures will go into a signature block, which then gets adhered into the cover. So keep your eye out for the upcoming videos if you want to follow along, see how this is going to go. I'd love to have you join me. Thank you for watching. And just wondering where I can put, see, that looks cool, right? That's a possibility. All right, that's it for this video. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you all the next time. Don't forget, take time to be creative. Enjoy the journey. Bye-bye for now.